peace and high frequencies. I want to go into the dream last night because the shit was crazy. It was crazy, y'all. So I don't know much about reptilians, y'all. I haven't really studied reptilians, reptilian humans. I have been hearing it more so now within the last 5 to 6 years of people really talking about reptilians. But when I first started my spiritual journey, I was really just concerned about raising my Kundalini energy and my enlightenment journey, and just learning more about the spiritual practices that my people did before Christianity was forced upon them. So when I first started my spiritual journey, I went into learning Ifa. I went into learning Taoism. I went into more of Buddhism. I wanted to learn about Kemetic spirituality. I was just really into learning the Orishas and all of that energy. So I didn't really get into, the Anunnaki, the Nuwapians, although I remember in 2016, I was walking to my job and a guy stopped me, and he was a follower of Malachi Z. York. And he was talking about the Nuwapians. I never really got into it. I grazed a few videos and information on it, but it never really caught my attention of just really going deeper into it during that time. And like I tell everybody, your walk is your walk. Now, based on the dream I had last night, y'all, I think I need to go more into learning about reptilians and what these reptilian energies are doing. Because whenever time something comes to my awareness in the dream state, I have to start looking more into it, because that's the lesson for me. That's the research for me, is my dreams, because I take them as real. It's like my awareness bringing it back to the forefront for me to look at and understand. So last night I went to a fast food restaurant in the dream, got something to eat, and then I was out with friends. It was almost like we was an outside market, and this is the dream. We was almost like at an outside market, right? And it was a lot of different things going on. There was a lot of different moving parts in the dream, so I can't just pinpoint one particular thing that was going on. I was doing this with friends. I was doing this with some family members. I had this, that, and the third. All of it was like intertwined in one big mix of a dream jungle. So I can't really just give you all full dream synopsis, but I'm going to go into what was that really stood out, which takes me to the reptilians. So in the dream, I eat something from this fast food place, and then next thing I know, I feel my body shape-shifting in the dream. My neck grows long. I'm talking about long neck, and it turns into like this reptile, like long ass neck with these veins in it. And then my lower part here of my jawline, like of my chin, not my jawline, but my chin, it protrudes out, and then these teeth come out, like this extra set of teeth come out here. And then my whole form from here to my teeth started to change. So I'm like, oh my God. So I leave this event that I was at, and I got the food, I ate the food, and then I go to this secluded place. It may have been home, I'm not quite sure in the dream, because like I said, it was a dream jungle of multitude of posh things that was going on. And so I go to the secluded place, and I'm trying to figure out why I am morphing into a reptilian. I'm like, I done ate this food from this fast food place, and it turned me into a reptilian. So I get on my phone in the dream, and I'm trying to look up how or why you change it to a reptilian, and what is a reptilian? How you change from a reptilian? And I just remember looking in the mirror. This is right before I woke up. I remember looking in the mirror and seeing this long reptilian-like neck, and then these teeth, this extra set where the gums are right here in your mouth in the front, this teeth protruding out. And the only thing that kept coming to my head was reptilian. And so, of course, then I wake up. And like I told you all before, I've never done any reptilian research on even, I know we have a reptilian brain. So there is some type of connection to the human form from what they're saying, and the reptilian brain that is in the individual. And I look at dreams from various parts because I know it gives me things that are in the cosmic world, and it also gives me things and information that's in the spiritual realm, and then I have to understand how to put it together that makes sense within this physical form. And all of that kind of came to me last night. But one of the things that, you know, I've heard somebody else say, it may have been Divine Connection 228, was talking about, you know, these reptilians putting things in foods, or coughing on foods, or trying to spread their germs, just like what happened at Chick-fil-A not too long ago here. I think I shared it here. I think it was in Mississippi, not too far, probably like 10 or 15 minutes from Memphis, of a worker spitting in the food, or the batter. She was spitting in the batter at Chick-fil-A. And I remember Divine Connection 228 saying that it's them reptilians, and they trying to spread their germs and their energy and get into people. And so I'm taking a closer look at the foods. It's getting more. This is like my second dream that I've had of a fast food location. And, you know, I told you all before, the Mexican pizza that just inflated and just looked like trash, and it was just so nasty. And I just looked at it, just looked like garbage, on how it was like morphing and becoming bigger and bigger, and it looked like vomit. And then this one, where I eat some fast food and then I morph into reptilian. So I want you all to pay careful attention, as much as you all possibly can, on what you're eating. And not to say that, and I don't know from which way we want to pinpoint it, because it may not always be the workers there who are doing this. It could also be the manufacturers that are doing it, because it goes through so many different processes or stages of, you know, being transported before it even gets to us, right? It got to be made, it got to be created, it got to be packaged, it got to be shipped. Then it's shipped, and then it's stored at these locations, and it's stored for however so long, and then it's prepared, and then it's given to you. So, and this goes for a lot of foods, you know, not just fast foods. And so we know that part of our frequency is based on what we eat and what we ingest. And one of the things that I did this morning after that dream, because it was like, oh my God, what the fuck? I did a couple of drops of black seed oil. I always keep black seed oil on me, because I had, of course, you all know, I had that event this weekend, and, you know, they ordered us food and we ate food and different things like that. And we know preparing our own food is the best way that we can do it, but really growing our own food, then preparing it, is the best way to do it. And a lot of us aren't afforded that time, nor the opportunity and the location to be able to grow our foods. So just like what Bobby Hemmett said, we can get to a level of consciousness where no matter what we ingest, it's always on a higher frequency, and it can heal the body and do whatever we need. And that's, you know, the vibration in which, you know, a lot of the monks and people who are in a higher level of ascension in this realm have done on what they eat. So putting a lot of energy into, oh my God, but put more energy into what your frequency is and what your vibration is, because just like the water spell I gave you all, we can transmute it all. We can transmute it all. We can transmute the energy of the low frequency vibration of the food we eat if we're already on a higher frequency, because we always have to know that there is nothing that can come against us. Nothing is more powerful than you. You know, I always say that nothing is more powerful than you. Nobody. No tarot reader, no shaman, nobody who no psychonaut, no pastor, no preacher, no evangelist, no whoever. Nobody. But the dream just reminded me of the movie Sorry to Bother You. I don't know if y'all seen that. I can't think of the guy's name, but he plays in Atlanta with Childish Gambino. But he is working as this, telemarketer, and he puts on his white voice, and then he's able to move up within the company, and he goes to the owner, which is this rich young white guy's house, and they're doing drugs and cocaine and all that kind of stuff. He gives him some, but what the white guy ends up giving the telemarketer black guy was some type of drug that turned him into a horse. So he went from being, and the white guy was doing some experiment where he was making half men, half horses. And it was I've seen that movie a couple of times, and so many different perspectives that I've drawn from it. Every time I watch it, I get something else from it. It's so interesting. But yeah, that is Sorry to Bother You. And that's what I felt like. I felt like instead of turning into a horse, I turned into some type of reptilian. And I've never had any dreams about reptilians before. This is the first time. Zombies, yes. Vampires, yes. Not reptilians. So the fact that I even had that lets me know that they are closer, way closer than I thought of what's going on in this realm of what they're trying to do and how they're trying to take over. But nothing is more powerful than you. And then we just have to guard ourselves and protect ourselves against what they think their agenda is. But I definitely am going to do my little internal research as well as some external research on the reptilians, besides me just understanding the reptilian brain that has us given into emotions and attachments and just needing the mundane things in this world. The reptilian brain. So yeah, I'm gonna go into really research more on reptilians. If anything that you want to share in regards to reptilians, definitely feel free to share. I'm always a learner. I'm always a student. I don't mind anybody that wants to share with me. I open up freely to those who may have come across this awareness before I did, because that happens where, maybe when I first started my journey, I was more on, various religious sectors and spirituality and things of that nature. And it may have been people who was on, Malachi Z. York and reptilians and things of that nature. So feel free to share with me, you all. And as always, I leave you in peace and high frequencies.